Neci Harmon here of Whatsshecreating Enterprises, and today we'll be looking at the types of stitches of the Kenmore 385.129.16890 sewing machine. So let's get started. Now this machine has over 10 different types of stitches. So let's go over each. It has the buttonhole stitch here. Excuse my nails, gotta get them done. So it has the 4-function buttonhole. I will show you this one. However, this machine is not actually working today, so I cannot show you that one. But just know that this is the 4-part buttonhole stitch. Stitch number 1 in red is a middle straight stitch, and then stitch number 2 is to stitch on the left side, and it also has a right side on here too. Stitch number 3 is a zigzag. 4 is an inverted zigzag. Number 5 is a blind stitch. 6 and 7 are more like overcast stitches. 8 and 9 are decorative stitches. And then all of the brown stitches, these are all stretch stitches or stitches that you can do on knit fabrics. So number 1 is the triple straight stitch with your needle in the middle, and then the triple straight stitch with it on the left side. It has the zigzag, more of an overcast, but you can do it where it's 3 stitches at a time. These are all other types of overcasting, serging stitches, and then it has a decorative stitch. All right, I'll show you what these look like on fabric. Okay, so I'm gonna do stitch number 1. So all I do is turn my dial to the matching picture, and then I want my length to be, let's see, stitch length should be probably like 3. Okay, and then all right, here is stitch number 1, and now I'm going to do stitch number 2, and I will keep my length the same for stitch 2. Okay, so as you can see, stitch 1 and 2 are pretty much the same thing. It's just your needle position is slightly different. Let's go to number 3. And so I'll put this, make sure that the picture matches, and then I'll change my zigzag. Zigzags work best between 0 and 4. So I'll do a 2 for this one so I can have a shorter zigzag stitch. Okay, I had a little machine issue that I had to fix, but here is the zigzag stitch, number 3. Let's move to number 4 here. So we will move that there, and I'm gonna put it on between 1 and 2 this time. But for this red stitches, or all of the red stitches, you can put them between 0 and 4. So you choose the length that you want it to be. Okay, so here's number 4. Okay. So that's what that zigzag looks like. Let's do number 5. And I will keep my length at 2. All right, so here is stitch number 5, blind hem stitch there. Number 6, I'm gonna keep my length at 2 also, but you can put it between 0 and 4. Okay, so there's number 6. Number 7, we'll move that over, and I'll keep the length at the same spot. Okay, depending on what you're doing, that's what number 7 is. Let's do number 8, a decorative stitch. Now, when it comes to the green stitches, you want to keep it between 0 and 2 because that's what it's utilized for. So let's move this to about 1.5, and let's see how it works. Okay, so yeah, it kind of looks like a curve, and then another curve. So kind of interesting. I probably would make my length a bit shorter for the next go round. Let's do the last stitch, number 9, and I'll put it on 1 for this length. Oh, this stitch is rather cool. Check that out. This is number 9, or a cool decorative stitch. Interesting. All right, so this is stitches 1 through 9. I'm going to display the stretch stitches as well as the knit stitches also, so stay tuned. This is how you get to the stretch stitch function. And so what you'll do is you have to turn your length wheel past 4, and there you go. And you put it on S, and then the brown stitches should work. Okay, so the first one is our triple straight stitch in the middle. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use a Ponte knit in order to show you these particular functions. So let me start. I'm going to fold the fabric and make 2 layers. And let's start with our first knit stitch. This is what number 1 and 2 would look like, and pretty much it reinforces that stitch and keeps it tight so that the thread will not come apart. Let's try number 3 because number 2 is going to look the exact same. So let's try number 3, the triple zigzag. Okay, this is stitch number 3, and as you can see, it's still a great way to reinforce your knit stitches and your knit seams. Let's try number 4. So we're just going to match it up. Okay, so let's look at stitch number 4. Cool, right? So more of an overcast looking stitch. Let's try number 5. Okay, so here's number 5. Look like it skipped a stitch there, but I like the way that the stitches are looking. It's a great way to finish your seams. Let's try number 6. Okay, there's number 6. It looks like a very clean stitch. Get these things out the way. I really like that. Number 7. Number 7 here, very nice, is that once it's set on the stretch stitch, you cannot make the stitch smaller or longer. You have to go with what, it's pretty much programmed within the machine. Let's try number 8. So no, number 8 is more of a decorative stitch on a knit. Okay, so here's number 8. It's really interesting. I don't know where I would use that particular stitch, but it's still something cool. All right, let's try the last one. Okay, last stitch. Here's number 9. And fancy, but still not sure where to use it. But so here's stitches number 1 through 9. With our knit fabric. So we used all the stretch stitch functions of this Kenmore 385.129.16890 sewing machine. So thank you for watching this tutorial on decorative stitches. Don't forget to subscribe to our page. Hit that bell so that you know about our notifications. Don't forget to connect with us on our socials, as well as give us video ideas and comments. Thanks for watching. Happy sewing!